Hello everybody out there in Flosstube world. This is Vicki, aka the Virginia Stitcher, coming to you with my Flosstube video number 34. Hello again for all of you that are coming back to watch my channel, and welcome to everybody that is new. This is a new year. This is January 18th of 2023. It is a Wednesday. And it's a beautiful sunny day. I maybe can kind of see a little bit out my window. Speaking of my window, I have switched and renovated my craft room. So I got a new setup. So hopefully this is working. I'm hoping the lighting is working and the sound and everything. So my plan is to hopefully be able to show you guys maybe in the next week or two. I'll do a tour of my video room, my craft room, and all of my stitchy goodness that I organization, all of my organization that I have. Oh, it's been a while. I'm sorry it's been so long since I filmed a video. I filmed, I think, in the middle of December was my last one, and I was busy then after that video with all of the holiday preparations, Christmas shopping, gift wrapping, decorating, cleaning house, getting ready for all my company. And then they were here for close to 2 weeks. I had my daughter and her family that had to stay here because they checked out of base housing and were basically homeless until they went out to Colorado for the next duty station. So they were staying with me at Christmas time. Them, the kids, the dogs, the whole 9 yards. And so I couldn't even get in my craft room. I couldn't video, I didn't stitch at all those couple of weeks. I had my one grandson, the oldest one, the 14-year-old. I always forget how old they are. They're growing up so fast. The 14-year-old was sleeping here in my craft room on a blow-up mattress. His brother was in actually the furnace room down here on a blow-up mattress. Because my daughter wanted to separate them because she knew that they were going to have to travel across country, sit in the back seat together for days, stay in hotel rooms where they would have to share a bed and all of that kind of stuff. So she kind of wanted them to be able to have their space. And I thought, if you want him to sleep in the furnace room, he can sleep in the furnace room. And like I was saying, we redid my craft room. It used to be a craft room slash gym. We had a treadmill in here, weights, exercise equipment, and all of that kind of stuff. And we moved that over to the furnace room. So where the furnace and the hot water heater are and all of my husband's tools, I totally revamped that room. We moved that treadmill, that mammoth treadmill, across the hall, down the hall onto the other side of the basement, and got that over there. And I had to clean out our storage room while I was at it. I was so exhausted by the time I finished getting this whole basement redone, reorganized, reset after everybody left. We had to clean house, of course, because we had 5 dogs here for that couple of weeks. My mom had her dog here also. My sister came out with her kids. My other couple of nieces were supposed to come up from Virginia Beach area, from Hampton Roads, but if I haven't said and you're new here, the Virginia Stitcher, I live in Fredericksburg, Virginia. So my nieces were supposed to come up, then one got sick and they canceled on us, but so they couldn't make it. But we had plenty of family here for the couple of weeks, and it was fun, it was enjoyable, it was busy, and like I said, I've just been busy. But I have gotten a lot of stitching done in between the Christmas mayhem, the cleaning, the straightening, the organizing, and all of that kind of stuff. I was able to get some stitching done. Last I checked in with you guys, I told you guys I was going to participate in the 12 by 12 New Year's Eve that Pam Schaffner from Just Keep Stitching on Flosstube and PG Soap on Instagram, her and Kia B from Kia B's Quilting were hosting that event on New Year's Eve day, where from noon to midnight you stitched on 12 things, one new thing every hour. And they had 2 different teams, new starts, where you did 12 new starts, team whips, and team half and half. And I was team half and half. I started 6 new starts and I worked on 6 of my whips. And I had showed you that on my last video, my video number 33. So, like I said, welcome, 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 everybody. I love all your comments. I love your, every floss tuber that I watch, or most of them, they say they have the best viewers. Now, they must be having all the same viewers that I have, because I have the best viewers. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. I hope you guys are having a really good kickoff to your new year, and that things will go well for you this year. I really, really hope that all goes well and you get lots of stitching done. So, I have a confession to make. I don't finish a lot, but even if I finish things, I don't FFO my stuff. Told you I redecorated, I reorganized my craft room. It's not decorated really yet. Got some cross stitch that, you know, I have lots of blank wall space that there's going to be cross stitch on these walls one day. But I finished Home of a Needleworker last year, and I got a frame for it and everything. And it's going to go right here in this frame. But do you see it in that frame? No. Told myself I was going to have it in the frame by the time I did my video, but if I waited for me to get that done, we might not have another video for a couple more weeks. So confession, I am terrible at FFOing, fully finishing my pieces once I get them stitched. I need to get them framed or made into pillows, flat folds, whatever. I'm terrible at it. So I have the frame, I have the spot. It's going to sit right here. Home of a Needleworker. I just need to get it in the frame. So one of these days, I will get it in that frame. I'm hoping by the next video, it's going to be in a frame. That's on my agenda for this month, for January, to try to get that done. So, without much further ado, without all the jibber jabber and everything else, let me get into my stitching. I counted up that I have touched 17 things in the last 5 weeks. Now, like I said, a couple of the weeks I didn't stitch at all. And then there were even a few days that I didn't really get hardly any stitching, if any at all, while I was doing all of this revamping of the whole basement. But I was able to get a bunch of stitching done. So the first thing I'm going to show you is my New Year, New Start. Now, when my last video, I told you my New Year's New Start was going to be Royal Holiday by Mirabilia. And it didn't happen because I was double checking my borders, you know, where my placement for her on the piece of fabric I had selected for her. And my borders were going to be a little bit too small. Can you hold on for just a second? I need to get a tissue. For some reason, my nose is like wanting to run a little bit. Not run, but it's like sniffly. I don't know. Oh, that was another thing. While everybody was here at Christmas time, COVID ran through the house. My one grandson came here with a sniffle. Well, his sniffle turned into COVID, evidently. He had been playing with some boys in the neighborhood playing soccer, and I guess he caught COVID from one of the little boys at where they were living on base. And he came here sick. My mom ended up sick. My husband ended up sick. My mom's husband ended up sick. My niece ended up sick. I think that was it. I think about 5 of us ended up catching it. I didn't, thankfully, but I stayed quarantined also. So that's when I got a little bit of stitching done after everybody left. And we found out my mom had tested positive for COVID. Then my husband tested himself and he had COVID. Then I said, okay, we're quarantining because I was exposed to him. I was fine. I didn't have it, but I stayed pretty much quarantined with him. Although he slept in a different room and all that kind of stuff, kind of try to keep some distance so I wouldn't catch it. So, so that happened also. Anyways, where was I? So my plan didn't go as planned for my New Year's New Start because the piece of fabric that I had selected for her wasn't going to be big enough. I was going to only have an inch to an inch and a half margin on the sides. And I wasn't comfortable with that. If I'm going to spend all of that time stitching on that piece, I want to make sure that I can frame her nicely and that I'm not fighting with an edge. So I had to cancel that idea and decide I'm going to start her later this year. Not sure when. I'm still looking for the perfect piece of fabric. I have a couple of pieces of fabric on order from Fabrics by Stephanie, and her things right now are taking about 4 to 6 weeks. So I haven't received my fabric, and I'm going to see if one of those pieces will work. And I ordered a piece from 123 Stitch I could try, but I want to wait till I get the fabrics from Stephanie, and then compare everything and decide which one I like the best. Because I really want her on a pretty piece of fabric that's going to work. But I had to nix that plan. So my New Year's new start, well, back up, rewind. Because of that, I couldn't do my New Year new start. And I was stitching on some of the pieces that I had started for my New Year's. When the 12 by 12 for New Year's Eve day, I decided I wanted to work on some of that. I did start a New Year's new start, but it said something different. And so my plans already just went, you know, right out the window. I was like, I can't start my New Year new start like I wanted, not the one I wanted. And then I started thinking, you know what? It's a new year, and I want to be true to myself. And I used to always stitch. I used to not have goals when I stitched. Of course, I didn't have 100 different things to stitch on back in the day, but I stitched on what I felt like stitching on. I might have had a few things, and I would pick up a project that I really wanted to stitch on, and I would stitch on it till it was kind of wanted to switch to something else, and then I would switch to something else. I didn't have like, I have to work on this one for this many hours or on these certain days. I didn't have any kind of plans like that back in the day. And I've only been doing that since I started my videos, since I started my Flosstube, because I was watching Flosstubers and it sounds great and it sounds wonderful. And I love listening to their goals, their plans, and things like that. But it doesn't work for me. And I thought, let me be true to myself. It's a new year. And my last check-in, I showed you 2 whip-go boards that I had done. A whip-go board 1 and a whip-go board 2. This one was going to have the new starts on it, along with some really big projects that I wanted to whittle away at. And this one had some generic categories and things like that. Well, the numbers were called, so I highlighted them and everything at the end of December when the numbers were called. I think it was December 27th or something like that. And I decided, you know what? I'm not doing that. I think this year is going to be a sweewee. Stitch what I want, when I want. If I want to pick up a piece and work on it for a month or 2 months, I'm going to do that. If I pick up a piece and I want to work on it for an hour and I just said, don't feel like working on this one, let me work on that one. Let me do this one. Let me work on 3 in a day, or 1 in a month, whatever I want to do. So I'm giving up my goals, my plans, and I'm going to say goodbye to that, and I'm freeing myself. I'm just going to say, no, I'm just going to do what I want, when I want. So stitch on what I want, when I want. 2 needles pulling thread, Kathy, she usually does that. She usually does a sweewee, what she calls a sweewee. And she just says, I want to stitch on what I want, when I want. And that's what I'm going to do. So that's my plan for 2023, is I'm just going to stitch on what I want, when I want, and see how that goes for me. Because even if I don't get things finished, I'm still getting progress on things that I want to get progress on. If I feel like working on, my fruits of plenty, and dig it out, I will. It just depends on what I want to do. So now I'm going to finally 14 minutes into the video, I'm going to get to my whips. So my first one is my New Year New Start. So because I couldn't do my Royal Holiday by Mirabilia, the beautiful Christmas Queen, I pulled out, this is probably going to glare really bad. Let's see if I can go ahead and get it out of the packaging. I pulled out a Savior's Praise by Shakespeare's Peddler. And it looks like this. This is a gorgeous big project. I forgot who I've seen working on this, but this is absolutely stunning. So Teresa Vignette, Shakespeare's Peddler. This one's not new. When did this one come out? Does it say? I don't see this. Oh, 2019. So it's not that old. You know, it's a few years old, this chart. You still can get it. I think I ordered this one off 123 Stitch. So this was my New Year, New Start. Oh, it's on a frame still. And I am stitching this one on, shoot, taupe. 28 or 32 count Lugana. I'm not sure which one. And this is where I got to on this one. I am using all of the called for threads, I believe. What are they called for? I'm using all of it. Calls for anchors, but I'm using the DMC conversion. And I think I'm using all DMCs. There are 4 weeks dye works, but I'm using the complete DMC conversion. And this is how far I was able to get. I worked a couple of days. I started it on New Year's Day, and then I worked maybe another day or two on it. Maybe the first 3 days in January on this piece. So, and like I said, it's on taupe. This is more true to color. I have a light right here that's going to be shining down so that I have good lighting. But that's my Savior's Praise. So that's my New Year, New Start for 2023. And it was one I wanted to start. It was on my list to start this year. So I decided, you know what? Since I'm not going to do Royal Holiday, I have this one kitted. And I wanted to get it going, so there you go. Got that one going. Now, the next set of 12 are all of the things I worked on in 12 by 12 for the New Year's Eve thing. The first one was Let It Snow by Barbara Anna Designs. And it's housed in just a plastic bag right now. I have one of my things I want to do over this next month or so, next month or two, is make some more project bags. These new projects I started. Oops, nope, that's not it. I have 2 projects in this bag, actually. Here's the picture for this one. Yeah. I am working on this one in the other room currently. This one I'm working on when I'm sitting watching TV with my husband. Here it is. So I'm going to show you the chart. I just want to get out the picture. So this one is Let It Snow by Barbara Anna. And it looks like this. It's kind of crinkly, my paper. And I am stitching this one on a piece of 32 count Azure Blue Lugana. And this is how far, sorry. I was stitching on it and evidently I stopped mid thread. And I got this far. I have my board put behind things, and I got this far. Love, love, love it. Now, on New Year's Eve New Start, I didn't, the New Year's Eve day, the 1 hour challenge, all I was able to get done in that hour was like this right here. Just this little bit of the scrolly work of the scissors. The rest was done over a couple of days, a couple of evenings watching TV. And piece of thread. Started on the 2 houses and some more of the scissors. So that's how far I was able to get on this one. Love it. It's so cute. Just gonna kind of toss my stuff down there. And that one was, like I said, a new start. So that was one of the new starts. The next one is a whip, because I did a new start, a whip, a new start, a whip, a new start, a whip. Like that. I just alternated back and forth. So the next one was a whip, and it was my Kringles by Little House. I always get confused. Little House Needleworks. This one's Little House. Sorry for the glare. This one's been around for a little while, so it's not new. It was actually 2020, I guess, was when it came out. It's a couple of years old. And I was actually working on it yesterday and today, this morning a little bit, and yesterday. But on my challenge for New Year's Eve day, all I got in was I worked a little bit more on finishing this dormer, you know, just putting some more stitches in it. But since then, I've picked it up and I've worked a couple of 2 or 3 days, and I've done all of this part of the roof. I still need to put the darker color in, but now it's just fill in over here. And I put in all of this mortar last night and this morning. I was working on this mortar so I can do some brickwork. And I also extended this from here all the way, and I did just the garland part, but I've been filling this in. So I'm going to be laying some bricks on this. I still want to work on this one. So this one I started a couple of years ago when it came out in 2020, and hadn't worked on it all year, I don't think. So I wanted to give it some more love, and I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun. But this is on a stiff Aida. This is on beautiful beige, amber. It's one of the Aidas. It's a 16 count Aida that I'm stitching this one on. And I don't think I have it written down. No, because I didn't even bring it over because I don't have my sheet in there with it. So that's Kringles. And then the next one I worked on was a new start, and that was Oh Joyous Day by Blackbird Designs. Let me get it out of the plastic bag, because this one's another one that needs a project bag that I'm going to make. But, sorry for the crinkle. So Blackbird Designs Oh Joyous Day. Started this one. And I have not picked it up since New Year's Eve day. So the progress I got on this was what I got done in that hour. This one is being stitched on a piece of 28 count Lugana in the color Wheat by To Die For Fabrics. I purchased this off of Etsy from To Die For. And all I got done was not much. That was an hour's worth of progress. That's it. 1 hour. 1 hour of stitching. And the color of it is true back here. It's kind of yellowy. It's like a buttery, yellowy, mottled. But when I get it closer to the light, which is right here, it's washing out the fabric. But I wanted to make sure you could see the stitches. Now, I could turn the light off, but it makes the room seem dark, but the color stays a little truer. So, I mean, I could switch back and forth. I could, you know, I look kind of yellow. So the color's true back here. But that's it. That's my hour start on that one. Didn't have a chance to pull this one up in the last couple of weeks since New Year's. But I will. It is a plan. It is a plan, Stan. I am stitching this one with all of the called for threads. Was able to kit this one up with the called for. So all the called for overdyed threads for this one. We've got, isn't that lovely? Always look like a mop. Colorful mop. My threads are not neat. So there's some classic color works, some gentle arts, and a bunch of Weeks dye works. But these are the called for colors on that beautiful piece of fabric. Throw that down there, making a big mess. The next one I worked on was a whip. This one is by Heartstring Samplery. It's called Baby It's Cold Outside. And it looks like this. This one came out in 2012. So it's not new. And I am doing this one on a piece of 16 count Aida by Picture This Plus in the color Spice. And I did have to change my threads for this one because they were not showing up on this dark color fabric that I picked. And I only worked on this for the 1 hour challenge and was able to get the trees in here. That's it. Not much. I'd already had the border in the house already finished. So get it close. I don't know if that light is casting a shadow. I've decided I think I'm going to make a throw pillow for the bed for winter time for this one. Because it's not super large. It's kind of a medium small project. It'll make a big pillow. Not a tiny pillow for a for a dough bowl, but could work for a little throw pillow. Then the next one that I worked on for my 12 by 12 was Rejoice Evermore. It was a new start. And this is Rejoice Evermore by Brenda Gervais, which is With Thy Needle and Thread. It was her new release last year. Love this piece. If you want to see this one finished, Kindred Stitcher. Lisa Smith. She's Kindred Stitcher on Instagram and on Flosstube. She has finished this piece. I should hold it over this side. So I started it on New Year's Eve day, and I worked on it some more. I worked on it another, I don't know, maybe 3 more days, three or 4 days. And I'm using all of the called for threads, I believe. Pretty sure these are all the called for. All the overdyes, and looks like I have a DMC color in there. These are being stitched on a 28, is it 28? I think I still have the sticker on the fabric. 28 count piece of Lugana in the color Ivory. I'm pretty sure it's 28 count. My Luganas are either 28 or 32. And this is how far I got. Let me fold it in half. That's where I am. So I was able, I think on, oh yeah, for the 1 hour on New Year's Eve day, I got like right here done. So then I came back and I worked some more on this piece. Sorry for the wrinkles. And like I said, this is Ivory, so this is kind of a true back here. It's a light off-white color. Light yellowy off-white. And that's where I am on this one. Beautiful, love it. And it's a fun stitch, really is. I was really enjoying it. And then, you know, I like to flit around a little bit. So I can't remember what I went to after. I was working on this one for a few days. But I think after I worked the first 3 days on Savior's Praise for the year, then I think I pulled this one up and worked for a few days and then went on to something else. One of these. Then the next one I worked on for the New Year's challenge was Snow Village. Where's my Snow Village? Hopefully it's on the floor. Sometimes I can't let my stack get too high or it falls over. So my Snow Village, I think I worked on just a little bit more after. Oh no, that's not Snow Village. That's the other winter village thing. Hold on. Snow Village is the one that has, it's by Country Cottage Needleworks. And it is 11, comes in 11 pieces. And I was working on the snowflake stand. Looks like this. And I think I finished it, but I didn't finish it that. I think I still had snowflakes to do. What I was working on him on New Year's Day. This is being stitched on a piece of Jody fabric. So it's no named fabric. Jody from Steel City Stitchers. The dyes fabric. Oh my gosh, the wrinkles. I'm sorry. They're really showing it bad in the light. This is how far I am on this one. I think I just worked some on the snowman. I think I was putting him in. And then I picked it up and worked maybe a little bit more. So my piece of fabric is gonna, that one goes in the upper left-hand corner. And it'll be a whole grid of the designs. Can't show you what the whole thing looks like together. You may have seen some people, I saw somebody finished it on Instagram. I can't remember who it was. It was really pretty. But that's my Snow Village. So I think I'm almost completely done with that first square on that one. Then the next piece that I pulled out was Snooty Parrots. It was a new start. Snooty Parrots by Barbara Anna. This one is an older chart, but I think it's still available. I think you can get it on 1, 2, 3 Stitch for sure. And it looks like this. And I have not had a chance to pull this one back up and work on it anymore. This one I'm stitching on another to die for you fabric, 28 count Lugana in the color Buttercream. And I am using most of the called fors. They're just overdyeds. I think the blue though I had to sub. I subbed in Deep Fennel for the blue color because I couldn't find it in the store. At I think I kitted this. I got the threads for this at Salty Yarns, I believe. So what I did on this one, usually I'm an upper left hand starter. So I did come up here, and on New Year's Eve day, I just kind of worked right here. So I put in a little bit. I didn't have the flower buds done, but I did have some of the leaves and the binding right here. And that's it. That's all I was able to get that day. So I did pick it up and work on it some more. But when I was looking at the design, I thought, man, I wish I had done a bottom start because I really want to get into this little vignette down here. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see that. Let me see how close I can get in and stay focused. The little house, the little people. Looks like a little mom and a daughter, and there's little sheep. They're really hard to see because they're white in the light fabric. The dad, the dogs. So I wanted to get down there and do it. So then I was looking and I was like, well, is this corner different than this corner? You know, this one over here. If I flipped it upside down, because my margins are the same all the way around. So that's what I did. I am deciding that this, instead of being my upper left-hand corner, it's going to be my bottom right-hand corner. So that's where I am on this one. Because you can totally flip something 180 degrees and your stitches will match. The way you lay out your stitches, the direction your X's go. You can't turn it sideways, but you can't turn it only 90 degrees, but you can turn it 180 degrees. You know, completely upside down. So from it being, just a hint to you guys, if you want to ever stitch, if you're having trouble reaching, say you're in a large frame and you're having trouble reaching the top of your piece or your bottom, you can always flip it the opposite direction. So I was going to make this my upper my upper left-hand side of my piece. But instead, if I flip it 180 degrees, now it's going to be the bottom. Oh, actually the bottom left. Wait a minute. Yeah. Or the bottom right. Bottom right. I get confused when I'm looking in the viewfinder because it's opposite for me. So that's what I'm doing on this one. So that's how far I am on this piece. Enough of flipping my fabric back and forth. So I hope that made sense. You can do 180 degrees and your stitches will still lay in the same direction. You just can't flip it only 90 degrees. That doesn't work. Because then you will have stitches that are opposite your other stitches and then it won't look correct. It'll look kind of wonky when you do it that way. I mean, if you want to do it that way, you can, if you don't mind having your stitches going in different directions. But you want them to keep laying them in the same direction. So for neatness, you can do that. And the next piece I pulled out on New Year's Eve day was a Patriotic Christmas Eve. Now, this was a start. I didn't have much on it. This chart was given to me by Mickey. And I didn't get very far because I only did the hour on this on New Year's Eve. I had a little bit of the border, but I came in on New Year's Eve and I wanted to start filling in the pot that the Christmas tree is in. So the border was already done on this one. This is a piece of 16 count Aida in the color Feldspar by Picture This Plus, I believe. And I did. This is what I got in. Just that right there. Just those little bit of stitches. Because all what I have of the border was already done. So Feldspar, you can see back here, it's kind of like a really light blue with some brown mottling in it. So that's my progress on that. Not very far, but I got a little bit done. A little bit on that 1 hour challenge. Like I knew 1 hour isn't going to get you very far on anything, but it's a start. The next piece that I pulled out was a new start. And this is Begin Row by Bent Creek. And it looks like this, just a long row. And the ABCs that go across here, the bold letters in the ABCs spell out begin. And then it says, a journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. I thought that was kind of cool to start for the new year. And I got, I think, 1 tree maybe done. And I had to do a little bit of picking from my stash for this one. So these are not the called for colors, are just ones I picked. So I think there's some Victorian motto that were in my stash, a DMC, a classic Colorworks in a couple of weeks. And I'm stitching this on a 16 count piece of Aida in the color Heritage. And that's the back side. And I got 1 tree. 1 tree. Because I did not pick this up and work on this anymore yet. So that's it. 1 tree. So not very far on this one. Like I said, it's a start, but it's just 1 hour. Put it all back in its little bag. The next one, still have what, three more I worked on for that challenge. So the next one was a whip, and it's Hot Cocoa by Shannon Christine Designs. And I only worked on it that hour, so I did not get very much farther. That's what it looks like. I'm stitching this on a 16 count piece of Aida in the color Milk Chocolate, I believe. And the called for DMCs. This is charted with DMCs. And all I was able to do was work up in this, the little scrolly corner done. That's it. This is just a needle minder right here. I think my friend Madeline gave me that a while back, so I put it with this piece. Oh, Christmas tree, so cute. But this is gorgeous. It is so cute. I want this to be by my, my dining room, by the coffee service area. I have the pumpkin spice one finished by Shannon Christine and framed, and I put it out there in the fall time, but I want to be able to switch this one in the winter time in place of that one. So that was my progress on Hot Cocoa by Shannon Christine. That's either Amber Aida or Milk Chocolate. They're very similar, both of them. Both whites pop off of really nicely. Why do I have, okay. I was like, why do I have a runaway project? What's that sitting there? The next one was a new start for New Year's Eve challenge. And this one is by Little House Needleworks. And this is called In at Fox River Mill. Looks like this. And I am stitching this one on, I think, Aida. Yeah, 16 count Aida. This looks like, this either looks like white chocolate or beautiful beige. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Lamb's wool. Completely wrong. This is on a piece of lamb's wool Aida 16 count. And I just only did the hour for the challenge, and I started, looks like I started right down here. Let's see if you can see it. for the water and the land, the grass and the water, just in the corner there. That's where I started. So I got this much done. That is it. That is an hour, people. That is an hour. So not very far, but it's a start, and I think this piece is cute. I really have been wanting to work on this one. I've had it kitted for a while. So I went and looked through some of my things that I'd had kitted for a while that aren't large, because sometimes I'm thinking if I'm going to start 6 new things, I don't want all of them to be humongous pieces. So I wanted to pick out some that were smaller, so that they're not all large pieces. And then the last one I worked on for my New Year's Eve challenge was Lantern Lane by Little House Needleworks. And this one looks like this. And I'd already had the big house done, the big tree here, the big house, this whole side of, kind of basically this whole side right here, finished on this one. And I was working on it last night, just yesterday. So I do have a thread hanging here. I had to take it out of a Q-snap so that I could show it to you guys. But this is lamb's wool also. This is 16 count Aida in the color lamb's wool. And for that evening, I did the lamppost. I think I did this other lamppost. But I was noticing, and I said, "Argh." I remember I had switched the color for the iron grating here and for the lampposts to 822, DMC 822, which is the conversion for Black Coffee by Classic Colorworks. And because I didn't like this one. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. This one is a lighter color, a lighter gray. And this one, no, wait, I'm sorry. That's 822. This is 310. I'm switching to 310. So I need to frog out this lamppost. Because if I turn it towards light, you'll see that this one's lighter and this one's darker. Because this one's done in 310 and this one's done in 822, which is like a gray, a dark gray color. I wanted black. So I need to frog this one out and redo this one. But since then, this is the bottom of a tree. So I started a tree over here yesterday, and I was coming in and I was doing this other side of the wall and the iron grating. So that's where I am on Lantern Lane by Little House Needleworks. Is that Country Cottage and Little House? Mix them up all the time. I had explained how I was stitching this one the last time I showed it to you. The red of the house is called for Lancaster Red. I only had one skein of this because when I started this, I think I started it at the very beginning of 2020. And I think so. I think that's when I started it. And I couldn't, it was either that or 2021, the end of 2020 maybe, when it was still hard to find threads. And so I only had one skein of Lancaster Red. So what I decided to do was go in and pick a DMC color that coordinated very well with it, and then do 2 rows, two rows across in Lancaster Red, 2 rows across in the DMC, 2 rows across in the Lancaster Red, DMC, Lancaster Red, DMC, and go like that to make it look like slats in the house. So can you see that? Can you see just a slight striping? I don't know if I'm liking this lighting. There you go. And also here for this tree, my pea pod by Classic Colorworks, that's this color up here, really did not have variegation. And I wanted my tree to have the variegation like this. Yeah, this lighting, it probably isn't. See that tree? See how there's parts that look darker and lighter? So I didn't want my tree to just look flat. Plus, I think I only had one skein of pea pod. So I picked 2 DMC colors to do that. So that's what I'm also going to do for the tree here. That's why I have one little section of the tree. This tree is in 3 sections, kind of shaped like upside down hearts. They get smaller. So I've chosen, well, there's my 310. I chose 3052 and 3051 as my two green colors for my trees. And then I chose, oh, I'm sorry, it was 844 that was charted. DMC 844, which is a gray. And I'm switching it to 310 black for the wrought iron and the lamp posts. And then DMC 355 was what I was putting in the house along with the Lancaster Red by Louique's Dye Works. And see how much Lancaster Red I had left after I finished the house? Not very much. So I knew I wouldn't have enough, and that's why I did that. So I just went into my DMC stash and converted some of the things. So that's how far I am on Lantern Lane. I would like to get this one finished this year. That's my thinking, because I'm still working on it. I had to take it off Q-Snap to show it to you, but my plans are to still work on that one for a little while longer. So what were other things I worked on? Well, I worked on Brenda Gervais' Santa Stop Here, or Santa Stops Here. Her new piece that she came out with. And I was able to pick this up at Salty Yarns when I was there in December. And I started it at Salty Yarns. I got it and I kitted it. And I had a piece of fabric that I brought with me that I decided to do it on. And it is a 28 count piece of Lugana in the color Rainy Day by Bestitch Me. And this is how far I am on Santa Stops Here. So last time you saw it, I know it had a window. I don't know. I was working a whole lot in this brickwork. Can't remember if I had to finish the roof still. And then I did this. I did the red berries or whatever these are coming down the side. So I did work a whole bunch in here and got quite a bit more done. So that's where I am on Santa Stops Here by Brenda Gervais. The called for color is a brown, kind of tanny color, but I decided I wanted to do mine on blue. And I might even, these are supposed to be white beads in the wreath. I might do red, but I don't do beading until the end anyway. And the only color change in threads that I made are the snowflakes. I wanted the snowflakes and the snow that'll be down here under the house whiter, because the called for, oh yeah, it's Bamboo by Classic Colorworks, but I switched in, I'm going to still do the bamboo for other parts, but not for the snow. And then the other thing that I switched, because what did I decide to do instead? I thought it was like a really, maybe I switched it for bamboo. Oh yeah, I did switch in bamboo. Is that what it was? Yeah, I'm doing the snow in bamboo. It was called for, I think, in grits, but I'm doing bamboo. I don't know if you can tell. Bamboo's a little whiter, a little brighter looking. And then the only other thing I changed was I wanted to do the roof instead of in charcoal by, I think, Weeks Charcoal. I picked, which one is it? Grapevine. Grapevine is a little browner, variegated, slightly variegated, and charcoal is a little grayer. So charcoal that's called for, I'm still using in the windows, and I used it in the sign and things like that. I'll use it everywhere else it's called for, but up here on the roof, I wanted to do grapevine. I wanted the roof to be browner. So that was my little bit of conversions I did on this one. So that's how far I am on that one. I'm loving that piece. It's so cute. And I love working on brickwork, like on, Kringles and stuff like that. I just love working on stone, brickwork, and things. I'm weird that way, I guess. I don't know if any of you are like that, but that's what I like. And then I also pulled out my His Eye is on the Sparrow. and worked on it, I think only just one day. I think there was one day I was like, I just want to sit and work on his eye is on the Sparrow by Heartstring Samplery. Because you know what I did? Well, I didn't get hauled together. But I had, when I placed an order for a couple pieces of fabric to see about for my my Royal Holiday Queen possible piece and something else, I bought Consider the Lilies. As if I'm not a glutton for punishment enough. I love it though. I think it's a fun stitch. It's very, very fun. All the different motifs. I'm loving it. So I ordered the sister piece to this, Consider the Lilies, that I might start sometime. So I came in and I worked a little bit more on this one. This one is on a piece of 32 count Lugana in the color Vintage Country Mocha. And I'm using most of the called for overdyes, but a few I had to sub in my own colors, like the blue, that's a Victorian motto, and the color of the house and some in the flowers here, and the spots on the cow are a Victorian motto color. But what I did was I came across here. I wanted to go ahead and bring the border down around the corner. So I did. Still need to finish that part of the border, but I brought it down and around. So this is how wide it is. So I am assured that my piece of fabric is plenty wide enough. And I also brought this banner all the rest of the way across and finished all the wording. So now I think I had stopped at and, or I think I had and no D. So now I have his eye is on the Sparrow, and I know he watches me. And then I also started filling in this part of the house. And this is what I'm doing for that. I have explained to you before, I'm a left-handed stitcher. I'm self-taught. So my X's a lot of times go in the opposite direction of most people, the way most people stitch. My top leg of my stitch goes from upper right to lower left. It goes across that way. And I stitch vertical, usually, unless, you know, there's a reason for me to go straight across, like here, you know, then I go straight across, and I will go horizontally. But most of the time I stitch up and down, the pattern up and down. So when I did this section of the house in this variegated thread, I stitched it up and down. So I decided on this part of the house, I want to stitch it horizontally. So this one's stitched vertically, and this will be stitched horizontally. And then this other little section that's just like this, I'll do vertically again. So up and down again instead of side to side. So that my variegation goes this way, and then it'll go this way, and then it'll go back down. Just for the heck of it, for a different look. I don't know how well you can see my variegation and the way it's running there, but that's what I was working on his eye is on the Sparrow. This is my progress. Hopefully I don't need to put a board behind it because I don't have that big of a board. I don't have that big of a board, but I'm enjoying this piece. It is so much fun. So much fun. And you know what I was thinking? It might go on the other side. I've got this craft room. There's nothing hanging on the walls except for a clock. That is it. There, I have all blank wall space. There's a whole wall here, this wall behind me. There's a whole wall on the other side of the room that have nothing on it. I have a TV and a clock on the wall facing me, but then I have another big space on the other side of the TV that there's nothing. When I do my craft room tour and organization video, I'll show you my walls and my wall space. Lots of lovely wall space. So, when people ask me, what are you going to do with all those big pieces? A lot of them are going to get hung up. A lot of them. That's my plan. Hey, baby girl. What you doing? You sniffing mommy's stuff down there? Okay. I have my little Molly. If you saw my last video, she came and joined me. Well, her little dog bed. Well, a dog bed is in here. She's the one that loves to lay on the dog bed in here with me and hang out with me. So that's what she was doing. You want to come up and say hi? Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Let me pick you up. Come here. Come here and say hi to the people. Say hi to the people. Say hi. Say hi. Here. This is Molly. She's a Maltese Yorkie mix. Can you say hi? Oh, see, and she's my crazy girl. She's always got hair sticking up in her face. I think she's got cowlicks in her muzzle that stick up right straight in her eyeballs. You say hi? Look. Look at this face. She's my sweetheart. She's crazy. She's high strung. She's got anxiety. So she's not good with other people and dogs and animals and stuff usually. But she's an absolute sweetheart. And she's a lot of fun. She's got fun personality. There you go, baby girl. There you go. And her sister usually sleeps upstairs. She doesn't come down here a whole lot. She's the younger one. She's 7 and the other one's 10. Let me see. Do I have anything? Oh yes, and one more thing to show you. One more whip. And I didn't get very much on this one. This is my Christmas Quaker 2 that I started. I think I started it in December. Either the end of November or December. By Bygone Stitches. So it looks like this. This is the one that has all of the Christmas hymns, Christmas songs, the titles. You can see, Oh Christmas Tree. I started Oh Come All You Faithful because I started up here, up in the corner. I'm stitching this one with a variety of red and green threads from Victorian Motto that I have. So they're very similar, and what I'm going to do is pull it up, work on a motif or two with this one, then with this one, because they're not identical. They're not exact matches, but they're very close in color. So it's very hard to tell that, like maybe this one's a little brighter than this one over here. But I selected several of these, and they're on all different colors. Like this one's Traditional Holiday, 1812 Cherry, Victorian Cranberry, Celebration Red, and 17th Century Schoolhouse. So they're all nice Christmassy red colors, and then I have a couple of greens, like Boughs of Holly. And what I'm doing is, this one came with I think a Dot Dot Goose bag that I ordered. And I thought I'm going to put this with this project. Well, it came with this bag. I think it came with this bag. I don't know. Showing you the chart there. Okay, I'm getting fuzz in my nose. But what I decided when the ones I'm working with at the moment, I'm going to keep in here so I don't get confused and go, which color was I using? Which color red was I using for the motif I'm working on? So you can see I've already pulled a piece of thread. I have a piece of thread out of here. But I'm keeping them in this little thread bed fold thing. That way I know which ones that I'm working on currently. And then when I get a motif or two finished with this color, I'll grab a different one and put it in here as I'm working with it. So I am stitching this one on a piece of, I think this one's a Fortnite fabric. I think it is. Do I still have the tag on it? Yes, I do. Yes, Fortnite fabric, 32 count Lagana in the color Plush. And I only have a little bit, oops, upside down. Only have a little bit done. So what I'd already had this done, and I think this line of this motif. So I came in and I started this one, then I was doing the lettering for O Come All Ye Faithful. But I am not very far on this one, considering how big this one is. You want to see this one finished? This is another one, Lisa Smith, Kindred Stitcher. She has finished this one. It is framed. It is hanging on her wall. Beautiful piece. Beautiful, beautiful. So many years down the road, this one may be framed and hanging on my wall, but not anytime soon. But I'm finding I'm not getting very far on my Quakers. I love them. Love how they look. I just got to get into the swing of working on a Quaker, I guess. Oh my gosh, I have a piece of fiber. Or maybe I have a piece of dog hair. Although my dogs don't shed. So, Who knows? Oh, wait a minute. And I have one other one I haven't shown you. Why did I not show you this one? This one I worked on also, but not very much since the last time I showed this to you. This is on a piece of vintage country mocha. I think this is 32 count Lagana though. The other vintage country mocha of another one is an Ada. And this is Santa's Village. And I had showed you this before, but I put Santa, I got him in here and the red baubles on the tree. That's all I did when I picked this up the other day. I think there was one day when I was down here, you know, doing all of this cleaning and stuff of the basement and reorganizing that I was just tired in the evening, and I just pulled this up and just worked on this. Just, you know, maybe a couple of hours, hour and a half. And that's how far I was able to get on that one, you know, just one evening doing that. Because some of the days I just didn't get a lot of stitching done. This one is by Country Cottage Needleworks. And this is the first house in the series. There's 12. So this is Santa's house, the one that I'm working on. And I have all 12 of these with the buttons. If you want to see this one farther along, done, Nadine, the Nightly Stitcher on Flosstube. I don't know if that's what her name is on Instagram. It might be. I think she might be on Instagram. But I know I've seen it on her Flosstube. And she's got a lot of this one done. I think she only has a couple of houses left. So this is my Santa's Village. So I got 11 more to go. I've got this one almost completely done. I think there's just some snowflakes. And I'm going to use beads for the eyes, so I don't have his little eyes in. And instead of doing French knots. So the beads and the buttons will be last. I think that's it. I think on this one I just have the little snowflakes left to finish this. So that one out of 12. If I only get one done a year, this thing's going to take me 12 years. It's not a race. Was that slow and steady wins the race? Yeah. Okay. So those are all of the things that I have been working on the last few weeks. Like I said, I'm looking down at my notes here. Like I said, I'm going to try to film a craft room tour and organization. See, there goes a piece of fuzz. Did you see that fly by me? That makes my nose itch. Also, I have reached over 6,000 subscribers. So yay to you guys. Yay. I wouldn't continue to do these if you guys weren't watching, because what would be the point? Me talking to myself? You know, I know I'm talking to you. I know that I'm sharing with you. So, because you are out there and you are watching and you are interested, then I continue the videos. Because if you didn't, if I was like, well, I have 2 people watching my thing, you know, what's the point of dragging all of my stuff out and filming it if nobody's really watching it? But like say my best friend and my mom or something, it's like, well, they can see my stuff. I can show it to them anytime they want. I want to do a giveaway. And my giveaway is going to be a $25 gift card from 123 Stitch. The reason I picked them is I know that they have set fees on their shipping, flat rate shipping, and they even ship over into other countries. So if you're in a country, you know, here in the US or in a country that 123 ships to, 123 Stitch ships to, you would be eligible for this drawing. All I would need is a email address for you. Whoever the winner is, I would need, you know, when I pull the winner, you just would have to be willing to give me your email address so that I could set it up for the gift card to be sent to your email. And that's how that works. It will just be a straight up $25 gift card. You can spend it on anything you want in their shop, anything they have available that you want to purchase. If you want to buy a chart or two, or if you want to kit up a piece, get a few threads, get a piece of fabric, whatever you want to do. That's your option. They have scissors, they have needles, they have little gadgets to use for your needle crafting. They even have other hobby stuff. It doesn't even have to be cross stitch. You can order something else off of there. Anything you want to, if you win the giveaway, anything you want to order from their site, up to $25. Anything over $25, and that's your shipping, your tax, whatever, that's on you. So the gift card will be for $25 from 123stitch.com. Please be at least 18 years of age or older, so that I can get your email address. I don't know how that works. You know, I don't want to do anything, you know, ask for an email from a minor. So if you are under 18, you have a parent that's watching and wants to enter the giveaway for you, they can. But you can't. I'm sorry. It has to stay legal. There's, you know, reasons why people can't just, you can't get from, you know, can't give giveaways away to an underaged person. Don't say any of the words like giveaway, free, contest, anything like that. You know that, you know, if you've been around on Flosstube for a little while, you've been watching, you know the drill. And on my next regular Flosstube, I will announce the winner. I will do a random comment picker and pick, in order to enter for the giveaway. I was thinking about the word before I started my video, and I wanted to think of a word that was different. I didn't want it to, you know, of course I didn't want it to say gift card or gift or anything like that. And I was like, well, it could be New Year, it could be this, it could be that. And I was like, no, those all could be words that could be just said in a comment. So I was like, what word would be a different kind of weird word that maybe not necessarily be said in a comment? And then I was like, it'd have to be a unicorn word, like a weird word. And I was like, what? Unicorn. So say the word unicorn in your comment. All you have to do, if you don't want to comment anything else, just say unicorn. 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 So in order to enter for the drawing, please, you know, in the comment, put the word unicorn. And like I said, please don't say any of the other words that could get trolls on there to try to scoop up the prize. I want it to go to a stitcher. To one of you guys. So I think that's it. That is all I have. I'm hopefully in the next week or two, I can do the craft room tour video. I think that's gonna be my plan. Yeah, you know me and plans. I love you guys for sticking around anyway, even though I am not the best planner. I am not a professional floss tuber in any sense of the word. I'm a lady in her basement, showing you what I stitch. And I'm so glad that you guys like tuning in and seeing what I'm up to. And I wish you guys a very good new year ahead of you. And until the next time, happy stitching. Bye.